What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Juve from the Six. It's your host, Chris, and this time we welcome Gilizudi back for the international break. And I don't know about you, but I'm definitely excited for this one. But before we jump in and talk international calcio, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel Juve from the Six, bringing you Juventus news from Torino to Toronto. So as per usual, as soon as club footy kicks off, we are back with an international break. And if you're a Juve fan, you welcome it with open arms with how the season has started for the Bianconeri. They are currently 0-1-1 with a tie against Udinese in the first week and a loss to Empoli in the second week. But if you're an Italian supporter, you are downright excited because you are still elated and pumped from what happened this past summer, which was the triumph in the UK for the Euro Cup 2020. This break sees Italy host two rounds with a trip in the middle as the Italians host Bulgaria on September 2nd in Florence and then September 8th in the Emilia-Romagna region at the home of Sassuolo, the Mapai Stadium against Lithuania. Sandwiched in between those matches on September 5th, Italy fly over to Switzerland for a rematch of that Euro Cup game, which saw Italy win 2-0 at the Euros, which was a part of their 3-0 group stage triumph. 3-0 group stage triumph, rather. Now to set up the squad, we jump in and see some new faces that just missed out on their call-ups for Euro, whether it be due to injury or just having a team too deep to call up everyone. At first glance, when you look at the team, there are some surprise inclusions, but what I love is Mancini's stance on it, as he was quoted saying, there isn't a pecking order and that those who deserve to be with the team will be here. First off, in goal, we see Golini join the ranks. And then on defense, we do see a couple new faces in Roma's Gianluca Mancini, Fiorentina's Christian Biraghi, and Milan's Davide Calabria, who comes in for an injured Manuel Lazzari. Calabria, he's definitely deserved this call-up, in my opinion. He could have been there for Europe, but we were so deep at wingback that there was no spot for him. But his 2020-2021 season saw a rebirth for him. And honestly, he probably could have snagged that captaincy from Romagnoli if it wasn't for Simone Kjaer and his rebirth at Milan after his transfer. In the midfield, we welcome back Roma's Nicolo Zaniolo and Inter's Stefano Sensi, who both missed Euro due to injuries. Zaniolo was out longer term. Sensi, unfortunately, was called up, but then had to withdraw last minute due to an injury. And that's where we saw Matteo Pessina come in for that injured Sensi. And honestly, can't go wrong with that call because Matteo Pessina performed admirably when called upon. At forward, we see Moise Kean rejoin the ranks after just missing out on his Euro Cup call-up. And honestly, if you ask Mancini, that is probably something he would redo. He was quoted as saying, Kean is a young player with great qualities. He didn't join us for Euro, and that I am sorry. But we knew he would return to the ranks. Then when he spoke about Zaniolo, he said some players are back from injuries. It's important for Zaniolo to feel well in his role, and his role won't be a problem. So now, jumping into the game. Italy find themselves first in Group C, already with a 3-0 start, a perfect start to qualifying, which is included in their current 34-match unbeaten run, as they are one shy from tying Brazil's 35-match unbeaten run for themselves. Honestly, looking at the competition for this upcoming international break, there's a really good chance that Italy will see them take over that streak of unbeaten matches to 37. The first game that we talk about here is a game against Bulgaria, which is on September 2nd at 2:45. They play in Florence, and this is their first match since March 28th when Italy played in Sofia and won 2-0, which ironically was Italy's first ever win in Sofia, which is kind of weird to think because of how many times you've actually played Bulgaria in a World Cup or Euro Cup qualifying group. The fact that that was our first ever win in Sofia, I mean, I guess you got to give it up to Bulgaria. Bulgaria is currently on an 8-match winless run, so definitely this will be an easy one for Italy, and I personally think that they will come out on top 3-0 in this match. I totally expect to see a 4-3-3 formation to be played, and the same exact players that we saw play at the Euro Cup to start for this one, save for maybe Giorgio Chiellini, as he has not played, or he's only played 30 minutes for Juventus so far this season, and Gigi Donnarumma, who has not played a single minute for PSG. Why? I have no idea. But you know what? I mean, maybe after this break, we'll start seeing him start for PSG because he is probably the best goalie in the world currently, in my personal opinion. But I mean, I could be biased. So definitely we'll see the 4-3-3 formation. You'll see most likely the wing backs start with Di Lorenzo and Emerson. Center back, you'll probably see Bonucci and probably Bastoni come in for Chiellini. In the midfield, you're most likely going to see Jorginho and Verratti. The only other thing that's in question would be the other midfield position, because you can have either Barella, Locatelli, maybe even Sensi come in. But I think for this game, they're going to start with Barella, but I would not factor out seeing either both Locatelli and Sensi make time for this game, but definitely start one of those other games coming up. As far as up front, I do totally expect to see Chiesa, Insigne, and Immobile start for this one. But don't count out seeing Moise Kean come in, especially if it is 0-0 at some point. But again, my prediction for this game is a comfortable 3-0 win for Juventus for Italy, and tying the 35 match unbeaten run for Brazil. If Italy has a chance of this unbeaten match ending, it would happen in this next game, which is against Switzerland, which is their toughest competition in this break. But personally, Italy already did away with Switzerland during Euro Cup, so I don't think much would change heading into this game. It is away. Switzerland will have the fans on their side, but I still expect a winning scoreline for Italy. Worst comes to worst, it'd be a 0-0, but I do predict a 2-0 win in this. And the most important thing of this all is if Italy does go on and win this game, we open up a 9-point gap against Switzerland. Yes, Switzerland will have a game in hand, but even regardless what comes out to that, they'll bring it only down to 6 points difference. And I really don't see Italy coughing up a 6-point lead in the standings. This isn't World Cup qualifying 2018, so we don't have to really talk about that again. And then lastly, Italy returns home to the Mapai Stadium to welcome Lithuania. Honestly, yeah, I know what you're probably thinking. Dang, what an easy group Italy got. Yeah, this is probably the first time in a very long time that Italy has a relatively easy group. We've never really had a hard group per se, but I think this is the easiest one in most recent memory with the competition that we have. Switzerland being the toughest competition we do have, but we've already opened up such a big gap against them that, I mean, I don't really expect much else. But in this game, you're probably going to see more tinkering by Mancini. You'll probably see a different squad take the field. But regardless of who takes that field, I do see Italy winning this one and stretching their unbeaten run to 37 games. When is that match unbeaten run going to end? I have no idea, but it's enjoyable while it lasts, and it's good to see that Italy is making their mark on world football once again as a scary powerhouse team, because if teams didn't take them seriously during Euro Cup, they definitely got to take them seriously now. Lastly, before I let you go, if you're wondering why Italy has played so many games so far in this World Cup qualifying group versus everybody else, biggest thing is because in their next international break, they will be playing the semifinals against Spain for their Nations League matchup. And if they go on and win that, they do face either France or Belgium in the final. Both games will be played in Italy. So definitely Italy going in with their heads held high and a huge chance at winning another trophy under Roberto Mancini. But that's it from me. Thank you for joining me. But before I let you go, please, in the comment section, tell me about what your biggest memory was of Euro 2020 with Italy, whether it be your favorite goal, moment, or player that stood out that's maybe making you want to follow him or the Italian league a little bit more just to keep an eye on that player. Please share what you have to say. I always love conversing with you guys in the comments. I know this is only my second video, but let's get that conversation going. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for future videos, just share them in the comments. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Juve from the 6.